Welcome to Justice Now, and this is part 12 about social media. It's along the lines of what I had mentioned about you're being excessively spied upon. And when you really look at to the degree of how your privacy is invaded, you'll be able to really recognize the importance of whatever you write, whatever you say, may be used against you. So please keep that in mind. If you do not need social media, shut down your Facebook, shut down your Twitter, shut down Instagram or other types of accounts. Be aware of what you're putting, the content that you're putting on those accounts. So, refrain from using the company name, refrain from using names of workers. And the reason being is that in a hostile situation, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to recognize it as a hostile situation, just presume that each and every workplace that you go into is a hostile situation, and you take it from that standpoint. You need to protect yourself, and you need to be aware of what you put down on social media. So be very aware of what you say and what you write, because it will be used against you. For example, Trayvon Martin, he was stalked by an off-duty security guard. He was shot, and he had something on one of the social media platforms relating to weed. And the media took that as a means to conduct a smear campaign against the victim. And Trayvon Martin is the victim here. He was only 17, just walking back to his dad's place, and his demise was met by a racist. So rather than looking at why is this 17-year-old boy being stalked by a grown man, the media decides to smear campaign him and justify his death by the fact that he spoke about weed, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. No teenager should be losing their life over speaking about weed. But that was just one example, and we can always go to many examples. Sandra Bland, we can go to her example. We can go to, I forgot the young man's name, who was shot behind his grandmother's backyard as he was trying to run to preserve his life, and he was shot down. And he had on his Twitter feed about black women. Nobody should be losing their life over these things, but the media will use it as a means to justify their deaths, which is absolutely disgusting to me. Keep in mind that when you already see the workplace as a hostile environment because people are actively competing for resources, they will use whatever means against you to block you from access to those resources, social media being one of them. They can look by finding out what your phone number is. They can look by finding out your emails. They can look by finding out any other usernames that you might use. They use people search engines, or other types of search engines to find out who you're connected with, who you've been subscribed to. We are afforded very, very minimal privacy. And when you take into consideration the scope of how little privacy that we have, you begin to realize the importance of ensuring that what you put down on social media is something that you want to be able to say to a public, because what you put down is public information. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that the information can be used against you. So be very aware as to what you put down. I will be putting up another video on another aspect of being spied upon that you need to take into consideration. I just haven't formulated the title for part 13. But like, comment, subscribe, add your experiences. But keep in mind that your social media will be hacked. It will be spied upon. And whatever you write will be used. Refrain from using company name, refrain from using workers' names, refrain from writing down your thoughts as to how you feel about the company or about particular workers, because a lot of companies now have a social media policy and protocol in which they can fire you for just cause. If you use the company name or use the name of the workers. So keep that in mind. And if you do not need to have that social media there, then shut it down. Shut down your Facebook, shut down your Twitter, shut down your Instagram. Be very aware of what you're dealing with. And stay tuned for more videos.